All right, so SpaceX and Elon Musk, who you think is one of the most interesting people in the world, right?
Yeah. Elon Musk is definitely one of the most. He's like the most like.
I like Elon Musk, and I really want a Tesla.
He's incredibly new age. Like he's bringing something new to the world. You know,
the dude made a flamethrower for the public.
Did he?
For the rich public. You didn't know he made a flamethrower?
No, I didn't.
Dude, look at this. Elon Musk made a flamethrower that was only $500. And while I was typing that...
You mean it cost $500 or it's only $500 to make?
It's only $500. He made a company called The Boring Company.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, and...
Where he's boring into the...
He created a flamethrower, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But it's $500.
What's the purpose of it?
Killing zombies.
What?
I'm not even kidding. That's what he said on his Twitter. That's what it was for killing zombies. His Twitter handle, for a little while, like his info in his Twitter, was Zombie Hunter.
Really?
Yes.
So he made a flamethrower for
a zombie apocalypse in the future. He didn't make it for that specifically, but that's what people assumed. People on the internet assumed that he was going to manufacture zombies. And that's why he was selling flamethrowers.
You mean like he's going to create zombies?
Yes.
And so he's making flamethrowers to sell to people
for that zombie apocalypse that he's creating, which doesn't make sense to me personally, but
that is
like we were talking about earlier. The people are stupid, extremely stupid. So it like I get where people are coming from with it, but at the same time, it doesn't make any kind of sense to me that he would make zombies just to push a product, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, he makes plenty of money. And he's sending Teslas into outer space to go to Mars. You know? This guy, all he cares about is the future. Like...
He's got a car floating around the Earth.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And he actually just sent some stuff into space for internet. He's going to send a bunch of... That's what SpaceX is. SpaceX is him sending...
go ahead and turn it on. Go ahead and start recording.
I am recording.
You are recording?
It is recording already.
Oh.
Yes.
Dude, I didn't even know. I thought the red light meant...
No, it's recording.
No.
It's been recording this whole time.
No.
See, we're recording.
No.
So, but I'm just fascinated by Elon Musk, dude. Like, didn't he make PayPal too?
What?
Yeah, didn't he make PayPal?
I don't think he made PayPal.
I'm pretty sure Elon Musk...
If he made PayPal, then he's like...
I'm pretty sure he made PayPal. How Elon Musk made money before he was a billionaire.
So he did make PayPal.
He sold his own video game at the age of 12.
Whoa, what kind of video game is that? It looks like Galaga or something.
I don't know. Let's find out though. It's called Blastar.
By
E.R. Musk.
E.R. Musk.
Blaster of...
Do you need instructions?
HTMLs? Is that what it says?
I wonder how many did he sell? How much money did he make off this?
I don't know. It was a space-themed game, which...
Yeah, this looks like Galaga. He ripped off Galaga.
Did he rip off Galaga, or did Galaga rip off him?
He was only 12 years old.
He received $500 when the source code for the basic base game was published in South African magazine PC and Office Technology.
So he got $500 from the game?
I guess so. I guess that's what it says.
I mean, he's 12. He's 12 years old. $500 goes a long way.
He was 9. He started programming it at 9 years old. dude, this guy is...
He's like a genius.
He's something else,
Some people
man.
just come along and they're like top of the line, top class, top tier at what they do. Some people are just so smart, too smart for this.
He was that smart
world.
at 9 years old, and his first job was tending vegetables and shoveling out grain bins at a cousin's farm.
And little does anybody know that little kid farmer is gonna one day send a Tesla car into space
and make one of the most interesting cars in the world.
With that, he's making rocket ships. He's planning on landing on Mars.
He's planning on making a society on Mars. That's the whole point of SpaceX. It's him.
But you know that he thinks that a lot of smarter people in today they believe that technology is going to be the ultimate downfall of human beings. That if they're scared of one thing that's going to end the world, that one thing that they're scared of is technology.
Then why would he be so heavy on technology?
He's
literally the inspiration for Tony Stark.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't mean that because he's in the game, he knows how the game's going to turn out to be ultimately in the end.
That's fair.
You know, he understands that it's going to be...
he did make PayPal.
How old is he in that picture?
I don't know. He looks like he's 80 years old.
Yeah,
though.
he does.
He was in Stanford at that time. It started out as Zip2. Well, he actually started with Zip2. And then went on to make PayPal, where he got $165 million.
Wow.
So he's essentially been a millionaire since the moment he graduated college with a PhD.
It's like, I feel like every smart person is like ahead of their time, you know? Like, you can have a coalition of smart people, but there's always that one person who's just way ahead of their time, and they're doing way more than what the coalition of smart people are doing.
Like, he created PayPal before the internet was anything. Like, the internet was nothing at that point. In 2000.
Yeah.
The internet had really just taken off.
Wow.
God, dude, like, he puts more money into our space program than our country does, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, our country just they cut the funding for NASA. You know, we don't want to. I guess they feel like it's not necessary to send things into space anymore. Like, I'm telling you, why defund NASA? You know, I feel like NASA was the most. It's a huge achievement.
See, that's where you get into the conspiracy theory stuff.
What?
With aliens and stuff. Like, that's why...
Like, why they cut NASA's funding so they don't find aliens?
Or that they've already found the aliens, so they don't want to continue to look and make it known to the public.
But if they found aliens, then they would make it known to the public already, wouldn't they? If that was your fear.
Why would they make it public to us? Why would they cause a mass panic?
I don't think it would create a mass panic if they just found like a small little hint of alien life.
Okay, but if they found a hint of alien life, people would go insane.
No, I mean maybe some people, but for the most part, I think most people expect that there is alien life out there. I'm pretty sure there's statistics. Look up statistics on how many people believe that there's alien life out there, and you'll see that there's a big amount of people that think that there are aliens out there. And so, if there's a big amount of people like that, then it's not going to affect that many.
Most people believe
it wouldn't affect it. They'll just be like, "Oh, yeah, see, told you so. I knew it."
But you gotta think, all the movies that they make about aliens is nothing but horror films, and
not all of them. I mean,
there's a few.
Paul and E.T.
So it's actually Germans that mostly believe in aliens.
Germans?
It makes sense. They're trying to get away from the Holocaust at this point still.
YouGov found the Germans are most likely to believe at 56%, followed by Americans and British at 54 and 52%. Still, over half of all those countries, over half of the people believe that there are aliens.
Do you believe that there's aliens?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like if the world is infinite, if there's an infinite world, then that technically means, like, if there's an infinite universe, then that means there's an infinite possibility of there being another life somewhere else, you know? Like,
okay, but see, here it shows that there is a plus or minus 4 percentage points, so it could be below. For Americans, it could be right at 50%.
It's still about half. Like, that's a good amount. Like, I'm actually pretty excited that that over half or around half of Americans believe that there are aliens. Because I always thought, you know, America was more in the dark on things. I thought they were more bigoted about, you know, certain topics like that. But it seems like that's not the case.
Right. Well,
but American
men is 65%.
Oh, men is 65%.
So women, like my wife, don't believe in aliens.
Well, only 46%. You know, it's very
that's possible. Still a pretty big number right there.
It's like, if aliens, it's kind of hard to not believe that there's other life out there if you believe that the universe is infinite.
So,
even in the Bible, it says, doesn't it say that
he created the universe, and
does it say anywhere in the Bible, like, the size of the universe, or, you know, if there's any kind of boundaries? Right here.
The survey has asked Americans who said smart aliens don't exist to explain why. Knowing Americans, they probably thought they were talking about Hispanics. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. So there's no such thing as smart aliens. They're taking up all our jobs.
It says 2/3 responded that it's because humans were created by a god or another higher being. So, that's
the argument that I would think Americans would provide for something like that.
It does make you think, like, why would we be the only people that God created?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say anywhere that we were the only.
Yes,
right?
God is perfect in everything that he does, you know, like, he doesn't make mistakes. So, why would he not expand on what he created on Earth, you know?
Right, yeah.
Like, and it said he created the universe, and he created life and all that kind of stuff. But who are we to think that we're the only ones that he created, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, even in a non-religious point of view, statistically speaking, it's almost impossible for there not to be life in the universe if the universe is infinite. Even if the universe is profoundly huge, like unimaginably big, it's still, the chances of there not being aliens are very, very, very small. And they might not be, I think it's, what is the, where they think, what is the name of that paradox? The Fermi's paradox? Where
I've never heard of
the
that
Fermi's
before.
Paradox is,
let's see what that
the
is.
paradox, if there's smart aliens, why haven't we seen them? Why haven't we encountered them? If there's, you know, if there's universe is so vast.
See, I thought you were talking about Hermes from Futurama. And he knows they exist. I mean, he lives with them.
He is one. But, yeah, the Fermi's paradox is pretty much like, if the universe is so big, if it's infinite, and there's, you know, then why hasn't any aliens contacted us, you know? The chances of there being smart aliens are actually infinite with the universe, then why hasn't any of them contacted us? And that's pretty much what the Fermi's paradox is.
Maybe they don't feel like we're worthy of being contacted.
See,
have we tried to contact aliens before?
Oh, many a times, yeah. We got SETI. SETI is the, I forget what the acronym stands for, but that's those guys with the big satellites, and they shoot them into space looking for radio waves and stuff. Alien radio waves.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm learning today, too.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Fermi paradox is often compared to the Drake equation. They're related. This one's actually more recent, in 1961. There's numerous probabilities involved in the existence of alien life. The equation considers the rate of star formation in the galaxy, the fraction of stars with planets, and the number per star that are habitable. Fraction of those planets that develop life, the fraction that develop intelligent life, the fraction that have detectable, technological, intelligent life. And finally, the length of time such communicate civilizations and that are detectable.
I mean, it's
and it's like it says right here. It's completely unknown. We don't know at all whether they're there or not. Obviously, you have the whole Area 51 thing, blah blah blah.
Right, but
in Roswell, New Mexico.
None of that is I think most of that is just it's not alien technology.
I think Area 51's more Hollywood than anything.
I don't think
that's what makes me wonder, whether or not it's actually that's what makes me believe that the government has already found aliens, but they refuse to tell us.
Yeah, but
because Area 51 is so romanticized in Hollywood.
Right.
That's where every alien thing takes place. It never takes place anywhere else.
Well, I don't think it's aliens, though. I think, for the most part, those places are secretive because they're governmental facilities. They're actual military bases, and they try to develop military weapons and things that they don't want other countries to see, and so they protect it. All the studies that they're doing over there, all the experiments and whatnot, they protect them by keeping them secretive from if they keep it secret from the U.S. population, then that means they keep it secret from other countries' population, and that's the whole point of being. So you think that they're not trying to keep it from us; they're trying to keep it from other countries. Yes, their point is for them to because if we know about it, other countries are going to know about it. It's as simple as that. So if they keep it secret, they keep all the experiments we're doing secret. All the new technology that we're experimenting with, if that's all being kept secret, then other countries, the chances of other countries getting a hold of it are very slim, and that makes it better for us in a way because other countries don't get a hold of that kind of technology that we're looking at, and that could be deadly technology or that could be a new propulsion system or something like that.
Right, and so back to the SpaceX thing. We went off on quite a long tangent there.
I mean, that's fine.
Would you live on Mars?
Well, I would live on Mars.
If it was possible, and they discovered that it was possible to live on Mars, and let's say
I would definitely live on Mars.
2032, they decided they were going to start shipping people to Mars. Would you live on Mars?
Oh, I would definitely live on Mars. Mars looks like a fantastic place.
You would be one of the first people to live on Mars, right?
Oh, yeah, I would definitely be one of the first people to live on Mars.
You would take that risk?
I would take that risk.
What if they found that, okay, we can live there, but we can't drink that water? How would you handle that, Because you'd have to take so much water.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure there's
you can
other,
breathe on Mars or whatever, but
there's other technological, advances today that would help. We could there's other kinds of ways to turn things into water, like hydrogen. If you bring it separately, if you bring all the components of water separately, but not actual water, to where once you get there, you can combine them together to make water. Then it would save a lot of room, and you would just have to know how to make the water once you get there using all the chemicals that you brought with you. And chemicals would be a lot easier to bring than water, because water can be kind of heavy. But it's doable. I mean, it's doable. You separate the water into small little components. You take it with you, and I mean that could be for anything though. Anything that's chemically based. You take it into small chunks. You break it. You break the chemical composition of it, and you take it into small chunks. And then once you get there, you combine everything together again.
Right. And the good thing is about that, Elon Musk is only 46 years old. I didn't realize he was that young.
He looked really old in that.
In the picture when he was in college, he looked really old.
And that
now he looks a lot younger than he did before.
That PayPal picture.
Yeah, right now. See, this is what he looks like now. He looks a lot younger than he did in that picture.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he looks like he's gotten his life together. That looks like a man.
You gotta think being a high school
that looks
person,
like a man that I would sleep with.
Anyways, he's a really smart man. Okay?
Yeah, he's very smart. He's very intelligent. He's way above.
And to be that young, making that much money, that's got to be kind of stressful, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, in a way,
it would
I
be.
think he grew up in a rich environment, in a rich household already. It said to fund his PayPal, he borrowed $28,000 from his father.
Well, that was him and his partner. They collectively borrowed that money.
Yeah, and they also went
but
to
that still is a lot of money.
They went to a real expensive school.
So it started off as X.com, merged with Confinity in 2000 and became PayPal, which was bought for more than what we originally thought.
$1.5
billion.
Whoa!
In October of 2002. So in 2002, he was what?
30?
30? 31 at that time?
That's
What? No, that doesn't add up, does it? 2002, 2018, he's 46.
That's 10 years ago.
Yeah, okay. No, it's not. It's 16 years ago. So he would have been 30.
Oh, it is 16 years ago.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Time flies by.
That was a long time ago.
Time just flies by.
That's almost 2 decades ago. The 2000s was almost 2 decades ago.
Yeah, when you stop and think, it really was.
That's crazy.
It really was, man. I don't know. Elon Musk he's interesting, man. He really is.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite people. Speaking of people who are interesting, did you know Donald Trump made it into one of the most interesting people of 2015?
Yeah. It looks like Barbara Walters set up a 10 most fascinating people list.
Some of these people, I swear.
Who are your most interesting people? It looks like this is mostly people in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, I mean, I guess those people would be considered the most interesting, considering their job is to be interesting.
You know, you do make a good point about them basically having to be interesting, but would you really consider Tracy Morgan interesting?
I think he was. I think something happened recently, and he was in the news.
He had a really bad car crash, I believe.
I want to say it's something along the line of like Bill Cosby interesting. You know? Like,
are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing about that.
Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it wasn't him.
I don't know. Oh, here's some shocking images of his car crash. That explains. What the hell?
Oh, was he driving a Walmart?
Was he working for Walmart?
No, he's not working for Walmart.
I don't think he works for Walmart personally.
3-dimensional scan of truck involved. That's the truck involved.
Dang. You know he doesn't shop at Walmart anymore.
Wait, is he dead? He's not dead, is he?
No, it says it killed another comedian last year, which was 2014. Obviously, this article is from 2015.
Oh,
but yeah, it was a pretty big crash, apparently. I guess that's why he made the list. Congratulations.
Donald Trump got in most interesting person of 2015. That's interesting.
It is. Well, I mean, he's an interesting person, obviously.
2015 though. That's before the presidential election.
Yes, but I think that's when he announced that he was going to run for president.
Well, what about Kanye?
Ooh.
Or Oprah?
Ooh. You know what? I think Kanye is an interesting person. He's definitely got an interesting mind.
He's interesting. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah.
We'll call it interesting.
Interesting. I've never heard of Misty Copeland.
Obviously not that interesting. Amy Schumer is interesting.
She's funny.
I'll give it to her.
She's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I'll. You know.
You don't think Amy Schumer's funny?
No, she steals jokes. She steals jokes.
Who doesn't steal jokes?
Original people who actually write their own material.
PewDiePie is the biggest YouTuber in the world, and he steals jokes.
Well, he's a YouTuber. He's not a comic. I'm talking about stand-up comedy. That's completely different.
I guess, but
I mean, his target demographic is young people, like really, really young people. So it's like it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying there, but
like this is stand-up comedy. You're supposed to come up with your own original jokes. You're not supposed to steal from people.
But can they do this?
Do what?
It's PewDiePie's new thing. You haven't seen it?
No.
His chair that's $3.99.
Oh.
You've never seen that?
No.
Oh, look at this.
Didn't I just tell you what his target demographic was?
So you're telling me you've never watched a PewDiePie video in the last year?
Who's PewDiePie?
I hate you. Look, this is a thing now. So, his chair is a nice chair.
But he leans back.
It's $399. But can you do this? I cannot believe you haven't seen that yet.
Hey,
you know what? When you go home, lay in bed.
Don't tell me where to lay.
Lay on the floor.
Okay.
Watch the video. It's a meme, dude. Who are you? And what have you done with my friend?
Obviously not a memer. I don't keep up with these memes. I always pronounce it as memes. Or memes.
You know, funny story about that. I posted a post on Facebook asking if people needed meme creators as a job, right? We call my grandma on my mom's side Mimi. Okay? And we spell it M-E-M-E.
Okay.
Or M-I-M-I.
You're right.
Meme is M-E-M-E. So obviously for an older person, they're going to read that as me, right?
Right.
She commented on it and said, well, your great-grandma and great-grandpa made me.
Oh my god.
That is... The generation gap is real.
It's real.
It's definitely real, man.
The difference between me and Mimi and meme and
Yep.
Meemaw.
Yep. It's crazy how much language changes, but some of it comes back.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like fashion. It's like recycles, but in a different kind of way, you know?
Yeah, like Shelby's grandpa one time said that they used to get lit.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a term that they used?
He said that, yes.
That they used to get lit?
They used it back then, yes.
Lit. Like, what? In what context did they use it?
Like when they were drinking and stuff, like we do
yo,
now.
I get lit.
Like kids do now.
Oh,
Like,
Shawnee,
like-
I remember when I would used to get lit.
Yes,
I got
basically.
lit all the time.
I don't think they used to dab on the haters, but
I was flexing on them haters long before you.
oh man. So have you tried a Tide Pod yet?
It's not in the diet.
No?
Yeah. Trying to do meat and greens only.
Keto? Okay.
Yeah.
You doing the keto
not a big
diet?
fan of Tide Pods.
No?
Nah, not really.
Dude, you know they actually kind of smell like candy.
Give me one.
I don't have any here.
Oh.
I ate them all.
Okay.
I'm sorry. They're good. Smell like candy. Taste like candy.
Where did that originate from?
I don't know. People on the
people
internet
getting
just started
Tide Pods.
eating Tide Pod.
Teed Pods? People just started eating Teed Pods.
Yeah, they started
I'm a little
eating
Teed
Tide
Pod.
Pod.
Short and stout.
They started eating Tide Pods, and I don't know why. It doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, there's
but
got to
hey,
be
to each
an
their own.
origin, like where it started all. Somebody posting on there like, hey, Tide Pods are good.
Let's look up why people started eating Tide Pods Why people do sex. Actually, that's a little more interesting.
Why people say bless you.
Let's find out why people do sex.
Why was that number one? Why people do sex?
Because 623 million people look it up. Wait, no, that's not right. Hold on. 20 reasons why people have sex. WebMD.
Ooh,
we're juicy. Wired for sex, apparently.
Coming to you live.
We don't talk about sex.
Physical reasons.
Well, yeah, I mean...
It's exercise.
Stress relief. It releases stress. I only have sex because it releases stress.
Insecurity. Guess
people
when you have
sex
a lot of sex, you
if you're
feel
insecure
about
yourself? I thought you would have less sex if you felt insecure about yourself.
Well, I would think...
You know, like, I feel insecure about my body. Don't look at it.
Yeah. Or you would be insecure that you had too much sex, right?
Hell no. You can't ever have too much sex.
I don't know about that.
Who are you?
Anyways, what were we looking up? Why people started
eating Tide Pods.
Tide Pods.
And we started looking up why people had sex.
Do I dare to eat a Tide Pod from NewYorkMag.com. Why are teenagers on YouTube eating or pretending to eat or vaping Tide Pods?
Wait, people are vaping them?
How do you vape a Tide Pod?
I guess the liquid the liquid inside. You just put it in the vape pen.
I guess that makes sense.
Huh. I didn't think people were vaping it.
Is it just a joke or like I can't tell if people are actually eating Tide Pods.
It's like let's eat cyanide contest, you know? Let's all get together and start the cyanide challenge. And we all just kind of take turns drinking the poison.
Well, Jim Jones already did that, so we don't have to worry about that one.
Jim Jones is the original challenger.
He is.
The original cyanide challenge.
You know that's where the saying, don't drink the Kool-Aid come from?
What, the Jonestown?
Yeah.
I would think so. I mean,
yeah, that's actually where it came from.
But I think there was other cults in the past that have drank Kool-Aid.
I'm sure there was, but
and had the same effect.
That's where the don't drink the Kool-Aid came from.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
It really does. I mean, this just doesn't make sense to me, dude. Like, see, he's feeding his woman a Tide Pod.
That is a funny picture. Who made that? Who made that picture?
Dank Meme Stealer on Tumblr.
That looks like a legit picture. Like
it really does.
Like a real commercial.
Oh my god, dude. Kids are crazy, man. Kids are crazy. Were we that crazy in high school?
I was.
No, you weren't.
I thought about, crazy things as a kid.
Like what?
Things like, jaywalking or something.
Oh, shit, dude.
Like,
I was always scared to jaywalk.
My bedtime was always 10, but sometimes I went to bed at 10:20.
Holy shit, dude.
And, I don't give a shit.
Did you ever have to sneak?
I'm too cool for school.
Did you ever have to sneak the TV shows you were watching?
All the time.
Like, me and my sister, she would sleep on the floor in my room so we could watch Family Guy. We would stand guard at the TV and change it as soon as we heard our parents coming.
I did that too, but not with Family Guy.
What were you watching? Porn?
Let's not get into that.
It was porn.
Let's not get into that.
All right. It was definitely.
Let's
porn.
not go on a tangent now.
It was definitely porn.
It's Family Guy.
Not gonna lie.
It's definitely Family Guy.
That pizza actually looks kind of good.
Tide Pod pizza.
if you don't like pineapples on pizza, you're gonna love this. Tide Pod on pizza.
Oh, God. All right.
Anyways, interesting people is what we were talking about. Bill Nye is a pretty interesting figure. Somebody we grew up watching in middle school, elementary school, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever really learn anything from him?
I think I learned quite a bit from him.
Like what? What'd you learn from him?
I
just didn't
about,
pay attention when we were watching Bill Nye.
I learned about magnets. I've also learned about the planets, I think, in some kind of way. He taught me quite a bit. I think he got me interested into it for the most part.
So, do you think he's actually a scientist? We know there's people out there that don't think he's an actual scientist, but what do you think? Do you put him on that same level as Elon Musk and Neil deGrasse Tyson and all them, or do you just think he's like his own guy?
He's a scientist. I would give it to him. He's got to be a scientist. I mean, he's got an electrical engineering degree, I believe, is what it is.
Yes. It's mechanical engineering.
Oh, mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. I know he created something for Boeing. He invented a hydraulic resonance suppressor tube that's still used on 747
See, he's
airplanes.
a scientist. He's just not like he's more experimental. He's not into the research. He's not into astronomy, you know. He's not into the unphysical stuff. Everything's physical with him. It's all mechanical.
Yeah.
Mechanical engineering.
But if you've seen what's it called?
Now, he does push propaganda about things that he's not, you know, he's not the leading expert in.
Like what? I'm not sure.
Like climate change. He's always pushing climate change, you know, and he's not a leading expert in climate change. He's mechanical engineering.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt that climate change is real.
No.
I mean, there's no doubt that that's real.
There's doubt.
What kind of doubt?
There's
it snowed 3 times this year here.
Yeah, but it's the doubt comes from whether or not you've physically seen the research on your own, or whether you've just heard anecdotal evidence from people saying like, you know, this percent of scientists believe that global warming is real, so therefore it must be real. Like, that might be true, but how do you know that percentage is right?
Right.
You know,
right.
Anything you've ever heard, you've never heard this amount of scientists actually tell you that, you know, global warming is real. You've only read things.
You listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
What is his take on climate change?
He's with Bill Nye on it. I mean, they host their own little podcast, Star Talk Radio. I listen to it a lot. It's one of my favorite.
I've never listened to it. You've told me to listen to it, but I just can't.
It's pretty good.
Can't bring myself to listen to it.
I mean, it's good. But Bill Nye does push propaganda on there sometime. His own little agenda.
Yeah, I mean, but that's really kind of the world we live in now, you know?
Yeah. It's just hard to find
has a
facts.
Political opinion.
It's hard to find facts.
Something.
Like, you don't know whether or not this thing is actually true, or if someone's just pulling your leg from all directions, you know?
You know, you make a really good point with it all being like a matter of opinion. That's really anything political, though. Like really anything political is a matter of one's opinion.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to lack of statistics or anything like that, you know, like gun control is very controversial, especially after the
school shooting in Florida. You're right.
Right. Yeah.
And just the way those kids are carrying themselves afterwards, it's really kind of inspiring, you know, like they're not just sitting around waiting for something to happen, they're trying to force something to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta give them respect. Even if you can't agree with what they want, you gotta agree with how they're going about it. You know, they were very passionate about it. This event triggered, you know, hysteria, essentially.
It did, and like we were talking about earlier, you know, like these things like gun control don't matter to people until it happens to them, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. But even after something like that happens, there's still always going to be somebody on the other side, somebody against that.
You're right, but common sense gun laws seems like it's the most reasonable thing that both parties could agree on, you know? But obviously the Republican Party is heavily funded by the NRA. So obviously they're not going to talk down about guns because that's where they get most of their money.
I could see why the NRA wants to keep guns around, though. It's not like...
No, I don't have a problem with all guns, obviously. But there's like I said, it's common sense gun laws. It's not taking away guns. It's not banning guns. That's not what it is at all. It's common sense. This shooter is 19 years old. Walked in, bought a gun. At 19 years old. He couldn't even walk into a bar legally and buy a beer.
Yeah, but even if it wasn't easy for him to get a gun, he would still find a way to get a gun. And
yeah, and that's the argument from the right, just like the argument from the left, is that not stopping, but making it harder to purchase guns
it would have been less likely that he would have bought a gun.
Yes. And yes, you can buy guns illegally. But that's the thing. He bought his 100% legally. He got his legally. And no person in the world should ever have to use an assault gun, assault rifle, anything like that.
There are certain weapons that are designed specifically for killing people, especially by the mass. You know?
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, that's what I feel Democrats want, is just common sense. Like, if you want an AR-15, join the military.
But a lot of people are real passionate about their guns, and they don't want people to take them away. In fact, the original reason as to why there's a right to bear arms is to fight against government tyranny. That was the original idea. That was the original plan.
But don't these people trust the government, though?
I mean...
Isn't that their whole argument? Like with the cop killings and them killing other people and them taking too much power, they're supposed to trust these people, right? They trust the people that have the guns to protect them, correct?
Yeah.
That's what they're in place for, right?
Yeah.
So why would you need an automatic rifle or even a semi-automatic rifle to protect yourself from those people?
My guess is a lot of people are scared of, like, terrorists. The media portrays America as such a negative place to be. There's a lot of bad things that happen, and a lot of people want to be strapped and ready for those bad things.
So join the military.
Right.
You're prepared at all times. You're trained.
Yeah.
You know about it. You join the military if that's how you feel about it.
Yeah.
If you're scared
but it's the fact
of terrorism and all that kind of stuff, join the military.
The argument I've heard is you can't tell them what they can and can't buy. Like, it's... If they want to own this gun, they can have that gun, despite whatever reason that gun wants to be used for. Like, it's...
And that's the thing. I'm not saying I don't want them to have these weapons.
Like, you can't take these weapons from them. That's the point. Like,
and that's the thing.
Take it away
nobody's trying to take it from people who have already purchased their weapons, who already know what they're doing with their weapons, who have been trained with their weapons, have went to classes for their weapons. You have to go to a concealed carry class before you can get your license. It's just like driving test.
Yeah.
You have to go to the class, you have to take a test, and then you can carry your pistol.
Right, makes sense.
Which is perfectly fine with me.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for the regular American Joe to carry something like that.
Yeah,
to even have it in his possession. You don't need one for hunting. They have them because they look cool. That's the whole thing. They look different than a regular rifle.
I'm sure some people believe that they have it to protect themselves too. And in the sense that, what if ISIS comes over and they start, raiding my house or something?
Okay,
I want to shoot them down.
But the same argument there is that these things are about as strong as a .22, right? A .22 rifle.
Yeah.
That's the argument that's how strong they are.
Okay.
Okay, so why not just use the 22? Because it's not semi-automatic. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Use the 22. You don't need an AR-15. You just don't. Obviously, this could have still happened. Yes, people die getting stabbed and everything like that. And yes, the cities in America that have stricter gun laws are some of the highest rates for gun violence, you know? But they're not done with AR-15s. They're done with pistols and handguns and stuff like that, shotguns. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with people carrying those. I have family that loves to hunt and all that kind of stuff.
Well, look up what is the number one argument that is used for keeping these weapons, like for keeping these weapons legal. Like, why would we want to keep these legal? What's the number one argument? The main reason as to why AR-115s or AR-15s should remain legal.
So, this article says why the AR-15 keeps appearing at America's deadliest mass shootings. Because that's the weapon that people are using. The person in Las Vegas, which people still consider is a conspiracy, that's a whole different story, and I'm not going to get into it because it really just pisses me off, honestly. Oh. It really does. Like, there's some that you could think, okay, yeah, that seems a little fishy, you know?
Seems to be some kind of sound playing.
Okay, that was a little weird. Let me find a different one.
Anyways, that was USA Today. USA Today is very far left, you know. That's the thing. It's like you're either really far left or you're really far right. Bipartisan politics seems to run this country.
Here's one on why people own the AR-15. Okay, obviously, like I said, nobody needs one of these weapons. And it shows here, yet if the statistics from the National Shooting Sports Federation can be believed, some 5 million Americans and counting have decided they do, in fact, need an AR-15. Or more likely, they determined that they wanted one, so they bought it. This guy is one that owns it. It's more of a sport.
They want it for fun.
Like I said, because it looks cool.
Yeah, and I bet it's really fun to shoot. I bet it's super fun.
It probably is. And for him, he says his AR-15 ownership is evidence of his mental instability, sexual inadequacy, lack of a conscience, or what have you. Then he honestly doesn't care what you think about the issue. He's saying that if that's what you believe. And then he's going on about how people feel superior about all that stuff if they don't own one, blah, blah, blah. So he's even saying by the end of this, it's all just opinion right here. Like I said at the beginning, this is all opinion. No matter what we say, nothing's going to change because people don't want it to change.
Right, but going back to the kids, it's like you have to respect their wants, their beliefs. After all that happened, they go out and they start, protesting on the streets for stricter gun laws.
In front of the White House. As well. Like, there's students in Maryland that were protesting in front of the White House.
They have every right to. They have absolutely every right to.
And they do. But the thing is, like, Twitter is a deadly place when it comes to arguments.
Right.
Or debates.
It doesn't help that our president's on Twitter, tweeting.
It doesn't help that he's tweeting his little hands, little fingers, moving them as fast as they possibly can go, complaining about everything.
Yeah. It's a little unprofessional, but I mean,
he's done some good things. Like, I'm probably going to get more money in my taxes next year.
I'm not going to bash the guy.
He's a child.
He's unprofessional.
He's a child trapped in a grown man's body.
It's unprofessional, but if he gets the job done, then professionalism isn't a big deal.
I disagree.
Unless we go to war or something about it.
Because
it doesn't matter.
The right tries to blame rap culture for stuff like this. How they glorify guns and sex and drugs and stuff like that. They try to blame that kind of stuff. He's been accused multiple times of sexual misconduct with women.
Many times?
Yes.
Are you certain?
Yes. I saw an article the other day.
A left article, I'm assuming?
No, I'm not sure what kind of article it was. Let me find it for you.
There's always articles bashing the president about something.
Bin
Laden.
We Snopes on this one. This is Snopes.
I'll agree with Snopes.
I know
Snopes is legitimate.
They're very.
I know they're unbiased.
Yes.
Snopes is unbiased.
See, although many women accused then candidate Trump of sexual assault during the 2016 election, that wasn't the first time that he faced these sorts of allegations. And then obviously the meme, been surrounded by beautiful women his entire life with zero sexual assault claims until he ran against Hillary.
Scroll down. What's the claim? The claim is Donald Trump was not accused of sexual assault until he ran for president in 2016.
And it has been showed false. Okay. He released an audio of then candidate having a lewd conversation with Access Hollywood with Billy Bush in 2005. And we've all heard that.
Yeah, but I don't care about his. I don't care about his sexual misconduct. Bill Clinton had sexual misconduct,
and he was no longer president after that. He was forced to step down.
He did so on his own will, though. They were going to start the process of impeachment.
It's the right thing to do. That's not what you want.
But
other countries to see.
That happened in office. This is before he went into office.
Yes.
So whatever happened before, I mean, Obama was smoking weed before office.
Yes, and George Bush was doing cocaine off of strippers' butts in college.
Yeah, that's my man. I mean, if I was president, that's how I would be that president. I would be George Bush.
So here's one that really gets me. More than a dozen women came forward in the aftermath of the tapes. Among his accusers was a contestant in a pageant he runs and former contestant on his reality show. One prominent accusation during that time came from a woman who sued, saying when she was 13, Trump allegedly solicited her for sex acts at a sex party in 1994.
Allegedly.
Which raises the question why a 13-year-old was at a sex party.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think we should all be pointing fingers at why that woman was at a sex party at 13. Or where her parents were during that time.
That's fair. And that's 100% fair.
I don't care if Donald Trump was in a sex party.
That's fine. You're at a sex party, cool.
Like, hey, I'm proud of my president. I'm proud of my president. If he's at a sex party, getting laid, do your thing. I'm proud of him.
At least 2 women accused Trump of sexual assault before the start of his 2016 presidential campaign. Ivana Trump, his first wife, used the word rape under oath during a court deposition to describe an alleged violent sexual encounter with her soon-to-be ex-husband.
Wow.
So, you still okay with that one? Not as okay with that one, right?
Yeah, but Ivanka Trump's known as like a
Ivanka's
look at me.
his daughter, who he said he would have sex with if she wasn't his daughter.
I mean, it could just be that she's looking for attention, and she knows that her dad, being the current president of the U.S., is an easy target, and
this was in 1989. This was in 1989.
So how old?
When Ivana, his first wife, his daughter's name is Ivanka. His first wife's name is Ivana. His daughter was best friends with Paris Hilton, because they blah, blah, blah.
Wait. Did he name his daughter Ivanka after his first wife?
I think they had her together.
Huh. That's weird.
But here is her testimony After a painful scalp reduction surgery to remove a bald spot, Donald Trump confronted his then wife, who had previously used the same plastic surgeon. "Your fucking doctor has ruined me," Trump cried. So that's why he has no hair.
Right.
That's why he's got a little hamster living on his head. But what followed was a violent assault, according to the Lost Tycoon, which is by Newsweek. Donald held back Ivana's arms and began to pull out a fistful of hair from her scalp. As if to mirror the pain he felt from his own operation, he tore off her clothes and unzipped his pants.
What?
Okay, if you're listening, this is about to get a little graphic, so just prepare for this. Then he jams his penis inside of her for the first time in more than 16 months. She's terrified, and it was violent. According to versions she repeats to some of her closest confidants, "He raped me," is what she said.
That's intense. That's
my question
strong allegation.
Is why after this happened in 1989, I'd never heard about this before.
Neither have I.
Before today, before right
idea.
now, I had no idea. And we both tend to trust Snopes because they're pretty unbiased.
See if is it confirm or deny that, like whether or not.
It shows here, releases a statement shortly before this book was published to clarify that although she did truly use the word rape, she did not mean it in a literal or criminal sense.
What?
Obviously, that's trying to save her own ass, you know. When Lost Tycoon was about to be printed, Donald Trump and his lawyers provided a statement from Ivana. So she didn't even make the statement. Him and his lawyers made the statement. Ivana confirms that she had felt violated and that she had stated that her husband had raped her during a divorce deposition, but Ivana sought to soften her earlier statement. So see, this is where it gets a little weird. Why were her lawyers not making this statement? Why was Donald's lawyers releasing the statement?
I don't know, man. It's a dark world. It's a dark world. Even if he did it, it's a dark world. And if she's lying about it, it's still a dark world.
Yes,
you know?
Agreed.
Agreed.
And then I don't think I've ever heard of this one either. Jill Harth filed a lawsuit in 1997, which she accused Trump, among other things, of attempted rape. Okay. It was voluntarily dismissed, but without prejudice, meaning that Harth could have decided to refile the lawsuit at a later date. Which, see, it's stuff like this that really pisses me off, and it's stuff that famous people can get away from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it didn't work out too well for your boy Bill Cosby.
That's my man. That's my boy right there.
but he got away with it for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
You know.
And what he did is just completely, that's off the wall.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
That's what it is. He's obviously a sexist. He doesn't care about women. He really sees, in my opinion, obviously I could be completely wrong.
What is it with comedians and their weird sexual fantasies, you know? Like Louis.
You're right. Louis C.K.
Yeah.
He just whipped his wiener out in front of a girl.
Yeah.
But the president told him he could do that now. If he's famous, you can do that. You can do anything you want.
Yeah. I
right?
guess so.
Isn't that what he said?
I'm going to start whipping my wiener out now.
You're not famous yet.
Oh.
Whenever we hit it big time, you can start doing that.
I'm going to whip it out anyways. I'm going to go to my old local grocery store. Just start whipping it out in front of the old ladies. Hey, darling, you got a nice long there.
But that's the thing, man. Like, just even with accusations, no matter how true, no matter how false, somebody like that shouldn't be able to run for president in the first place, in my opinion. Like I said, politics is really nothing but opinion.
But everybody just got their skeletons in the closet. Anybody who's been president, they're going to dig something up. There's going to be something that they shouldn't be president for. But
you're right, but the way the right tries to say that Michelle Obama is a man. Have you heard those claims?
No. I mean, she kind of looks like Serena Williams.
She's big. She's built. She takes care of herself.
Yeah,
you know, she works out and she does what she needs to do to stay healthy.
And apparently, being a healthy woman
means you're a man, I guess.
Yeah,
but
you're a man.
You really haven't seen any of that?
Nuh-uh.
Look, I'll show you. I'll guarantee you I can find something on Michelle Obama being called a man. And then another thing, while I'm looking this up, your buddy Alex Jones has proof that she's a man. But on another note, before I play that, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, Kathy Griffin is her name, right? The woman that held the Trump head, decapitated Trump head, and got a bunch of shit for it.
Yeah.
That's her name, Kathy Griffin?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The right took that as end-all, be-all of everything, that she needed to be thrown in prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they have short-term memory loss, because they had pictures of Obama hanging, they had dolls of Obama hanging, all that stuff. So, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, Democrats hated that. They didn't care so much for this. Republicans hated that. They didn't care so much for that.
Well, when it comes to bipartisan politics, there's always going to be hypocrites. There's always going to be things that clash, things that it just doesn't, they don't agree with each other. And that's just, people gotta meet in the middle. Like, there's going to be bad on both sides, and you can't just attack everything for it.
Apparently, according to Alex Jones, Obama called her over and over again Michael.
Michael?
He called her Michael Obama.
Michael Obama.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex Jones believes that they're hosting a pedophile ring.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And that caused a man to get shot.
Yeah, the Pizzagate.
Do you remember that?
Pizzagate. Yeah. I remember that.
Chrissy Teigen and John Legend are their latest targets on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, because she posted a picture of her baby with a pizza.
Wow.
Of a cheese pizza, and apparently you can't do that anymore or you're a pedophile.
Wow. Yeah, I remember they went to Pizzagate because they thought that they were actually keeping little kids down in the basement.
And they killed a man because of it.
Yeah, they shot it up.
This kind of shock politics shouldn't even really be allowed. Obviously, we have freedom of press, freedom of everything, basically,
But what if he's right? What if there was pedophiles in there?
What if there was, But there's not.
How do you know? You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure we both know there's not.
I don't know that.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything to confirm or deny it, and neither of you.
You've never seen anything to confirm it. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty, right?
Right. Yeah. So that means there could be pedophiles or there could not be pedophiles.
But they're innocent until proven guilty, right?
Innocent about what?
Innocent about anything that's being claimed until further proof is shown. Yeah. That's part of what makes America great is you get a jury in front of your peers,
All right. Well, I think we should end on this note.
Yeah.
It was a good podcast. Good first podcast.
I think we did a pretty good job. Obviously have things to fix.
Oh, yeah, wait, we gotta polish up some.
Before we leave, Alex Jones said Michelle appears in photos and videos to have a very large penis in her pants. So next time you try to share an article, make sure he's not a part of it, please.
Michael Obama.
But yeah, I think we did pretty good today.
Yeah, I think it went well.
I think it was good. My cousin wanted a shout out. Name's Krista.
Hello, Krista.
She's single.
She's ready to mingle.
She does have a kid, but he's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool little dude. His name's Jake. Alright? So, find her on Facebook. Her name's Krista. Don't send any racy photos to her, because she'll probably try to fight you.
Don't tell me what to do.
All right, guys. It's been a good episode, and we will see you next week.